Hello and welcome to Week 2 of the Falinks Draft League Season 5 Little Cup VGC is what we're doing today, and we have a very fun team. I've decided to break out my infamous wheel snipe of Bramblin plus Gimmighoul. So basically what these two do is Bramblin beats up Gimmighoul. And Gimmighoul has rattled weakness policy, so like it goes super fast and hits super hard and just one-hit KOs things. That is Plan A. Plan B, we've got Growlithe, Impidimp, Sobble, kind of a pretty standard offensive core. My opponent's team has like Trapinch as the scariest Pokemon. There's Litten and Riolu as the two A tiers, and then a smattering of different B tiers that are fairly likely to come, C tiers that could make it. But the main thing about them is every single one of them is a physical attacker. There are no special attackers on my opponent's team. Like, the closest they get is Finazin, which has even attack and special attack. And then after that you get Litten, which is like 5 more attack, and to be fair, often runs its special moves rather than its physical moves. But, I mean, we've got some interesting sets because we're not really feeling particularly threatened, so we can just run crazy stuff like Rash Sobble and lax Impidimp with one screen. And the idea is that Chilling Water, Intimidate, Will-O-Wisp, all this stuff will compound to essentially make my opponent's team not work. Because they're not doing any damage. And then we have Jangmo-o in the back. This is essentially here to win us the game in the endgame. It's a lefties sub-protect set. And the idea is if we get a couple of iron defenses up, this thing is max defense and a decent investment in HP. So we should be able to get a 1v1 or even a 2v1 situation and win it. Just because they can't do damage to this thing. Like, even a crit does not KO, so if they somehow, like, break the sub and then crit, I can actually protect the next turn, breaking swipe, protect, and sub up again. Which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Plan A is go full offense with these two. Plan B is if they don't allow that, we can do this. And especially if they have no Fairy Terras, this is just a super strong option for us into the entire team, because it just solos everything. And even into Fairy Terras, which it obviously can't beat because it only has Breaking Swipe as an attacking move. The thing is that this thing has a lot of HP. It has a good chunk of my team's HP. It's the most HP investment on my team. So if I get into a 1v1 where they have their Fairy Terra somehow at full health and I have this thing, I should win that endgame on timer because of the sub-protect. Without further ado, hopefully my opponent, Ice, who just very briefly joined the voice call, which is what you heard then, is ready. Does not look like we have anything in particular. specifically a link code yet, but let's get one then. Let's go to my favorite website, random.org. Yes, I'm human. Thank you. We are going with a random number from 0 to 8 nines. And it's going to be that. Ice, who is the captain of the Seattle Scizors, my opponents this week, has said that they had some troubles with the genning. It was going slowly, so hopefully that gets sorted out soon. Well, what else has been going on? I've been helping a couple other people in the league prep, of course, as I always do. We all help each other prep and team build and whatnot. It's been a lot of fun recently. Some pretty fun sets that I've come up with. Nothing quite so good as the Moringa Berry week, but pretty fun regardless. Oh, goodness. I'm so bad at this. I need to actually get good at the olive roll. Olive roll is fun. I will say, this is like one of the more fun things to do when you're just hanging out with friends, is just like play a game of this, like 2-on-2. Just a blast, an absolute blast. Please, it does end up with some very funny scenarios sometimes, but it's a lot of fun. This thing is so large. Like, look at it. Look at how big it is compared to me. massive. Why is it so big? Oh my goodness. Stop going all the wrong ways. But yeah, today is the pre-release for Journey Together. I'm going out with my next week's opponent to play in said pre-release just after this match. And my opponent is on their last 2 Mons for genning, so that is really taking its time. See, this is why I don't even bother with genning. I don't know how to do it, and between learning how to and actually doing it, it would just take more time than building the Mons. Like, I have nothing against genning. I think it's great that people can do it, but it's not worth my time. And then I have to keep track of, like, which of my Mons are genned and not, so I don't, like, accidentally use a genned Mon in an official tournament, and it's just a whole disaster. So that's why I just always catch all my Mons fresh, or hatch them from the egg. I am getting better at this now. My dribbling is definitely getting better. My handling with Koraidon is getting worse, however, so that evens out. Did you know that Koraidon could walk? It can. It doesn't have to be running all the time. Anyways, that was a bit of fun. Let's see if we can find a shiny in the time that it takes our opponent to get ready. Really wish I hadn't started the recording as soon as I did, but hey, now it's a Wolfie style intro from back in the day. Oh, that's not a shiny. What's my boxes look like? Yep, that's what I thought. Is there a Charcadet under the arch? There is, haha. I'm like 80% certain that's not shiny. But I will look it up anyways. Yeah, his eyes would be blue. Okay. That's also not shiny. Flittle's shiny is brown underneath the little tutu thing. If any of y'all spot a shiny before I do, that'd be kind of silly, you know? That Rockruff isn't a shiny. That Drifloon, not shiny. That Phanpy, probably not shiny. But I'm too colorblind to be 100% certain. That Tadpole, not shiny. Okay, my opponent is getting the last Mon right now. Yeah, Ice is complaining. The 1 week I do like no prep and everyone's here to watch. Yeah, there are 7 people in the VC to watch this. That is kinda rough. Kinda rough. Okay, okay. Spring airing out Ice's dirty laundry in the VC. Alrighty. Here we go. It is time for week 2. Current party. Random battle music. Prep complete. Oh, shoot. I copied over my Terras. So once again, I am okay, what has my opponent got? There's a Trapinch, we expected that, and Litten and Riolu. Doduo, Shelder, Inkay are the other 3. Well, I think we just go with Plan A. Because they can't fake out Plan A. And I think Sobble does really well into the back. Yeah, I like that. So the Inkay is Terra Ghost, Trapinch Stellar, Riolu Ghost, Litten Water, Shelder Electric, Doduo Normal. So no Terra Fairies. There's an Inkay and a Trapinch. Very much expected. Inkay is Terra Ghost. Wonderful. And Trapinch is not Terra Normal. These are both special attackers, so I will simply be special attacking. Or physical attackers, so I will simply be beating up weakness policy. And I think I just try to... Which one should I KO? I think Trapinch is the big one. Trapinch is the one that I'm worried about. It's probably Terra Stellar right now. Might even First Impression. Yep. Terra Stellar First Impression probably brings me down to Sash. Yep. But that's why we have the Sash, so. And it's Life Orb. Okay. This will take a while. If I had attacked into the Inkay, this would have been much better. That said, this is still very good. And Inkay uses Trick Room. Okay, okay. Forgot that it could do that. I think Shadow Sneak into the Inkay is the way to go here, and I just protect. Ooh, a Bramble and the Gimme Ghoul. Riolo has Shadow Claw. Okay, okay. I think I just click Substitute and Shadow Ball the Inkay. Inkay is gone, now we can really solo with Jangmo-o. Shellder as the last mon in the back. I think I just Iron Defense here. And I Terra Water. And then this is definitely going to be like an Ice Shard into this slot. So I think I just hard switch. coaching, okay. I do not care about that at all. Liquidation into that slot. Does nothing. And now we Iron Defense once. And then we Breaking Swipe forever. And just Muddy Water, honestly. No, I think I just Hard Switch. Let the thing die. Yeah, Prankster Coaching is gonna make it do more damage, but like... yeah. Not that much. Breaking Swipe again and Raw Terra Blast into Shelter. No, I don't want to reveal Raw Terra Blast, do I? I think I just Muddy Water because it still might KO. Legitimately might KO Shelter. Oh, that did less than I was hoping. Still did a billion, though. But yeah, that's gonna KO Sobble. The Skill Link, of course. And now this is a 1v1 that I simply cannot lose. That thing is at +1 attack still. I don't particularly care. I'm gonna Breaking Swipe it just to get to neutral attack. That does nothing. That does 0. $30 damage. That doesn't break sub. That doesn't even come close to breaking sub. So yeah, I just sub here Protect. And I win this easily on timer because Shelter has no HP. Like, that thing's HP stat is negative. This is the safest endgame line, is just winning on HP. Iron Defense again. And then I Breaking Swipe after the next Protect. Okay, sub-faded. Sub-faded. That is the thing about Rock Blast, is it actually does do damage sometimes when I have a sub-up. The goal is to win the week with 6 KOs at this point. I'm just going to timer stall. Legitimately. No reason to do anything else. Gotta think of a strategy for game 2 as well. So if they go with the same lead again, I think I just hit the other slot, honestly. Same team, same strats. This time I think I'm bringing this lead. I think it's going to be an adjustment from Ice. And I think this lead is just better. First impression has the same priority as fake out, which means that my fake out will go first if they do the same thing. And if it's something like Doduo Shelter, I get a reflect up. And I just mud shot the shelter, I think. I'm fine with letting Sobble go down here if it does end up being a Terra Blast or something. Tailwind from the Doduo. Okay. So this is just tail room. I'm happy with that. Does no damage, by the way. I think I Chilling Water and just mud shot the shelter again. In fact, I think I outspeed the shelter. Oh, Brave Bird? That does KO. Intriguing. Rock Blast is going to do nothing through screens. Yeah, Brave Bird would KO, but I'm just gonna go with this. And click Power Gem and Mud Shot again. Nothing better to do. Yeah, it is Brave Bird into that slot. It does do no damage. And it is Rock Blast into that, which means I do get off the thing. The crit on the last one almost mattered. Goodbye, Doduo. And Shellder is gone next turn, most likely. Yeah, Inkay's not going to outspeed if it's Trick Room. We've seen Rock Slide, we've seen Waterfall. We can assume Icicle Spear. Shellder could have Protect, but I don't expect it. I'm just going to keep clicking Mud Shot into this Shellder. And it didn't Protect, so... And it is a knockoff into that slot. Okay. Perfect. Tailwind is gone too now. I mean, I'm just going to keep clicking Mudshot into this Trapinch. It's going to First Impression. That doesn't KO. Perfect. Yeah, that did nothing. And hopefully this double up KOs. Yeah. Just what I thought might happen. And Trick Room goes up. But my Gimmighoul might honestly still be slower. I'm just going to Shadow Ball Mudshot. Technically, probably optimal to protect Mudshot, but yep. Would have been. I am not worried about the Inkay. Going to Protect and Mudshot. And what is the most obvious play of all time? Let's be in case Terra Ghost, it doesn't matter. I think I just click Breaking Swipe until I die. Yeah, that's superpower. That's fine. That's doing no damage. And they're Clear Amulet for some reason. Who knows why. Like, that's definitely Clear Amulet. Because, like, Breaking Swipe is supposed to lower the attack. Like, it lowers the attack. I protect this turn. Get that sweet lefties. Now I can just sub. That breaks my sub. Okay. I was really not thinking that that would break my sub. I think this endgame is still good for me. The Inkay should go down to 2 or 3 more breaking swipes. I think I Iron Defense here. And then I get to sub on the next knock as well. But I protect first. Great play, great play. Great play to set up Trick Room there. I'm just going to Breaking Swipe twice and hope we win. Topsy-turvy! I mean, I expected it, but still. So now I'm -2 defense. +2 Inkay superpower versus -2 me. Probably bad. Turns of Trick Room. 2 more. This is a tough turn. I think it's Iron Defense. Knock might KO though. Yeah. Good endgame. So now we know the Topsy-Turvy. We also know the Clear Amulet, which means that we're bringing Intimidate. And we're doing so very safely. But yeah, Clear Amulet makes 0 sense to me. Solo and no duo again. We're just going to go for the Rock Slide Muddy Water. That's going to be a Terra, probably... Yeah, it's the Doduo, which is now Terra normal. Muddy Water connects with both. There's Tailwind. And is this just going to be a CC, and is it going to KO? Side CC? What? What is bro cooking? Oh, it's a misclick. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, okay. Just got confirmation that it was a misclick. Okay. Yeah, that's probably just a loss now. But you never know. The Inkay comes out, the Trapinch comes out, and anything could happen. I think I just click Will-O-Wisp into the Inkay and I swap to you to let it die to a Terra to a first impression. Okay. Oh, that just lives. Okay. That's pretty good. I still have Terra on my Doggo, so I can just Willow this Trapinch with Terra and set up a Reflect. Zero risk involved. There's the EQ, yep. Superpower does literally nothing. And Willow misses. Okay, that's a way back in. I think I just swap and Breaking Swipe. Rock Slides are a way back in for my opponent. Not flinching will not help, though. I no longer 1v1 quite as hard with Jangmo-o, but I do still 1v1 with Jangmo-o, I think. Tailwind is gone. Trick Room has 2 turns left. I'd like to get an Intimidate off. into this Trapinch because it is not Hyper Cutter. Actually, wait. What is it? Because it's not Arena Trap either. It's the third ability? Sheer Force? I mean, yeah, I guess with the Life Orb. I should have known that. Still seems pretty bad. And now I just protect. Trick Room expires, and that should be the game. And now we just Flow Blitz, Breaking Swipe, either one KOs. I'm gonna give it to Growlithe because Flare Blitz would move first. Well, that was a fantastic battle. It is time to head to the post-game interview. Thank you all for watching. Another win, another week. I will see you in the post-game.
Right, is it not mine?
It is not.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the post-games interview. Thank you so much, Ice, for joining me. Great games. Rough misclick on that Game 3. that really sucks to... I mean, it's not easy when you close combat into your own thing. I thought for a second you were like...
The thing that you terra'd, too.
Oh, Bird didn't have two. Bird
yeah, no, I thought it was like... Oh, I thought for a second it was like, okay, I'm going to get Tailwind up and then get in my sweeper in the back, guaranteed. Because I'm Terra close combating, I always KO myself.
Nah, we didn't have a sweeper in the back. We had our Trick Room mode in the back, so...
Yeah. I will say, it is very bold to set up Tailwind one turn and then Trick Room the next.
Yeah, I mean, Trapinch just do be that slow.
It really do. It really do.
I get what you're... But that was part of why I was like, yeah, I lose. Like, this is super, super awkward now. But...
Yeah. So, if you want to take a look at my team, I've got some really funny stuff here. And now is when I get to show the general chat the funniest thing that I have seen today.
That shed tail, or what is that item?
That is a shed shell.
Shed shell, okay. Not super familiar with the shed shell, I'm gonna be honest about that.
Yeah, it was there in case your Trapinch was Arena Trap.
Gotcha. Hey, do you know why I was still taking Life Orb recoil with Sheer Force? I thought Sheer Force made it so Life Orb didn't recoil.
Only on moves with secondary effect.
Okay, so only like on Rock Slide.
Yeah,
okay.
only on like Rock Slide, yeah.
Because I was clicking Earthquake, no secondary effect, still
First impression too, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the funny screenshot. Check out the nature on this Impidimp.
minus special defense.
Yeah. So, when I looked at your team, Ice, the first thing I saw looking at your team was you have 10 physical attackers on your team.
Litten was actually special this week.
Litten, I assumed, was going to be special because nothing else really can be. But I'm not too worried about Litten with these two, considering Chilling Water hits it super effective, Muddy Water hits it super effective. It's not doing much with its flamethrowers.
Overheat, but
Overheats as well, yeah. Same thing. But yeah, I built this team. There are 950 or so EVs in defense and 4 EVs in special defense on the team.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah. This Jangmo-o set...
Time to waver!
This Jangmo-o set I'm super happy with. I was like, I want to just have a Pokemon that can 1v1 almost anything in the end game. Almost anything. Not a topsy-turvy Inkay. I did expect the topsy-turvy to come out at some point. I was like, there's no way this isn't topsy-turvy.
Trying to get behind a sub.
Yeah.
Make it like super awkward.
Yeah. I also wanted to be behind the sub for the knockoff. And I just had one... I just didn't call the Trick Room turn, and that was game over from there, essentially. Once you got Trick Room up in that end game.
Sub is pretty cool too.
Soundproof sub is fantastic,
sound.
yeah. That's one of the things I love about this mon. It has 3 usable abilities. Soundproof, bulletproof.
Mid-match, I went to check to see if it has the same abilities as Komodo, because
It
Komodo
does.
has 3 great abilities.
Yeah. Soundproof, bulletproof overcoat. I mean, I can use all 3 of those in 3 consecutive weeks.
My Inkay was not Clear Amulet, by the way.
It was a covert cloak.
Covert.
Yeah,
yeah.
You have 2 fake out, right? So that's not like...
Yeah, I have...
I mean, you didn't bring 2 fake out, but you
Yeah,
have
but I
two.
have the ability. Yeah, I can bring double fake out if I want to.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the spectators area. We're all like, oh, it's covert cloak. That's funny that it's actually not getting boosted by breaking swipe.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I was going into that endgame expecting to be, like, at an even worse disadvantage.
Yeah.
But,
And
like...
then you were like, oh, maybe I could do this.
Yeah, and then you got off the move and it was over there.
Yeah, once we were in Trick Room, I was very confident. Like, once I saw that sub, I was like, man, this could get a little awkward, but then once we were in Trick Room, I was pretty much good.
Yeah.
Especially since you protected that turn, so it was like, yeah. I was pretty sure that you were gonna do, like, rattled weakness policy.
Yeah, it felt really good this week. It was really good.
It was.
I think game 1, if I target the Inkay instead, I just win on the spot instead of taking 4 turns. And by 4, I mean 400 after timer stalling.
Yeah. Yeah, no redirection on my team is, like, pretty rough. And that's, I assume, why you think it looks so good, because, like, you can just go for it and there's not much I can do about it.
Yeah, I get to go for it.
Against most teams, like, there's, what, like, 3 people would follow me? And
Yeah.
else you can just, like, put goggles on
Yeah, like... There's not a whole ton of redirection in Little Cup. There's some niche stuff. There's some stuff that you wouldn't expect, but, like... Always be prepared for the ally switch is the #1 rule. I was expecting maybe Inkay had ally switch.
Not enough moves on Inkay. Sadly.
Yeah. It's definitely a 4-move syndrome Pokemon.
Well, one of the biggest issues I had last week was, like, I wanted to be able to put things next to Earthquake, so I wanted Protects, right?
Yes, yes.
Inkay needs Trick Room. It needs Superpower.
Yeah.
And I was pretty set on running Topsy-Turvy. I really like the synergy with, like, Riolu.
Yeah, Topsy-Turvy is great. I think Topsy-Turvy, especially with...
But my opponent ended up having 3 Terra Ghosts and a Terra Fairy, which didn't end up costing me, but I had Riolu and Inkay with just a fighting move, so I was like,
yeah. That is the thing.
This week I got Shadow Claw on Riolu, which ended up almost kind of saving the lead if I had, like, clicked buttons right, and then I had a knockoff on Inkay, obviously.
Yeah, knockoff is very important. I think a large part of that is a big part of my team building philosophy is the first thing that you want to do with your Pokemon in draft is figure out what you don't need to beat. Like, I was looking at Jangmo-o and I was like, okay, what do I not need Jangmo-o to beat? What can Jangmo-o never beat? Jangmo-o, if I run only Dragon Move, I cannot beat any Terra Fairy. If you run Terra Fairy, I can't beat it, because I can't do damage. I can maybe timer stall and win, but I can't actually do anything. So Terra Fairy was one thing that I was like, okay, I have to accept losing to that, and I have to build the rest of my team so that I can beat that in another way.
Yeah, it's important to like have those in draft.
Yeah. Like, if you're running only Psychic move on your Psychic type, or only Fighting move on your Fighting type, you have to be okay with losing to Dark types and Ghost types. But you have to build in a way that lets you win around that. And once you've figured... It gets a lot easier once you've figured out what you don't need to beat. Because if I'm like, I can't beat Terra Fairy with my Jangmo-o, I'm like, well, I don't need a defensive Terra against Terra Fairy then. Because I'm not beating it anyways.
Because when you hedge, you're like... Yeah. It's better if you commit to a plan for sure, and then accept that it's not going to cover everything.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then you end up making a team that like wins to nothing. It's
yeah.
Kind of prepared for everything.
Like, there's... At some point, you have to give up something. Like, you can't run all 17 moves that are good on Growlithe. You can't run all of the support moves on Impidimp.
I'm curious, why didn't you run Thunder Wave on... I was kind of scared of that looking at this, like Screen plus Thunder Wave.
So,
Like, really hard to deal with. I guess
yeah.
Trapinch being immune to it is kind of like...
Trapinch being immune is a big part of it, yeah. It's... And your team is slow enough on a large portion of it. Just, if we look at the speed stats, I figure you might bring a Trick Room mode. Because you have those 40s and 45s, and I have my own Trick Room mode, but I don't always bring it. So, and if I'm not bringing it, it's going to be a little bit rougher against that Trick Room mode. I'd rather not have a move like... The thing about Thunder Wave is, it's not a move that I love. Like, it's great for speed control.
It does suck to have a move like that that can still miss on mood, and then you're like,
yeah.
damn, I could have, like, green.
There are some times when, like, if I look at Impidimp and I see Thunder Wave, I would much rather just have any other move there. Chilling Water is... I think it was great this week. It would have been fantastic.
You could just spam one of those over and over.
Yeah.
Pretty much any board state.
Yeah.
There's never not going to be a physical attacker on the board.
Yeah. And I can spam Chilling Water into your one special attacker as well.
That's true.
So really, the idea was just beat the things I can, and with the things I can't, do my best.
Yeah, it feels like Growlithe patches, like it's like the game 3 Growlithe on lead was like really tough. Like,
yeah,
because I'm thinking like if I can get enough, if I can like trade out enough with Riolu, Doduo, like if I can take a KO and a half or whatever, maybe like Inkay and Trapinch in the back can kind of do this. Like I come in, set a Trick Room, or come in with like a quick first impression, and then like just like Trapinch can sometimes just have like one big turn.
Yeah.
Obviously, if your Growlithe isn't in Terra, it just deletes that. But like behind a screen, and then once you got an Intimidate on it, it was like tough road to hoe.
So
I was, like, already too far behind, I think, at that point.
I wasn't bringing Growlithe in the beginning because of the Inkay. after game 2, I saw that your stats weren't lowering, so I was like, it's clear amulet. I have no idea why, but I can just lead Growlithe now with no risk.
No, I said that in the spectator chat. We were like, oh, Oryx thinks it's clear amulet, so that's why he's leading Growlithe now, but he doesn't know it's actually covert cloak.
Yeah, I had no idea. So I led Growlithe, and I mean, it worked out. I think one of the strongest things that my team can do in general is just click Rock Slide Muddy Water.
Yeah, and I should have just led Inkay Trapinch again. Game 3 probably. And as a side effect of that, what Conix was saying, the Intimidate would have given me.
Yeah.
Inkay.
It would have given you a boost, but I think, like, still I just click Rock Slide and
Trapinch
Muddy Water.
-1 is still, like, rough, though, because then I can't, like, first impression to pick something
Yeah,
up.
you can't KO the Sobble.
We saw it. We saw the Sobble switch, and we're like, oh, it's not Arena Trap. It must be Hyper Cutter. And then you took Intimidate, and we're like, we had to look up what Trapinch's third ability was. We're like, what is it then?
I also had to look it up. Because I knew Hyper Cutter and Arena Trap were off the table. So I was like,
same thing.
so it had to be Sheer Force.
And then, yeah, it all clicked, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's Life Orb, because it's
Yeah,
Sheer
yeah.
Force.
No, I think Life Orb is just good regardless. Like, Trapinch, I don't know if y'all know this, it does have 100 base attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it does just hit harder than everything else. So, it makes
And it's
sense to
slow
give it a
enough
Life
to be,
Orb.
like in Trick Room, it is like the slowest. You like don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Gimme Ghoul this week, but I was pretty sure you'd go Rattled, so I didn't have to worry about that. That you'd run.
Yeah. I ran some speed in it with...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any speed means that you're faster than my Trapinch. So.
Yeah. As long as I am not 0 minus, then
Yeah,
you are outspeeding me in Trick Room. I think I'm just fast enough with the Gimme Ghoul to be outspeeding your stuff at +4.
Mm-hmm. Like Doduo.
Yeah, I think it just... I think I hit 144 stat or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like 144 stat.
Doduo's max 139. With
Yeah.
Scarf. And that's my fastest. Tied with Finizen and Deerling, actually.
Yeah. This Sobble set was funny. It was almost no speed investment, but Choice Scarf, because it's so naturally fast that
Yes.
just the Choice Scarf is enough
And I can
to...
definitely use the bulk.
Yeah, I had 220 defense EVs in this thing. And 4 attack IVs. Or EVs, rather. It was very funny.
For U-turn.
Yeah. This is a rash nature, plus special attack minus special defense. So, we were getting wacky with it. Maybe who knows, maybe the U-turn calc matters at some point. Maybe the fake out calc on my impotent matters at some point.
If it hits Inkay, the U-turn EVs could matter.
Yeah. At the very least, the not being minus attack would definitely matter. But yeah, do you like my nickname scheme? Who up Bramblin they gimme ghoul?
Who up they
Who up Bramblin they gimme ghoul? She growleth on my impudent till I sobble.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yippity.
Oh, that's where it was. I was confused.
Yeah. I decided to just go full Gen Alpha memes. Prove that I'm hip with the kids. Am I hip with the kids, Ved?
Sure.
Thank you.
Wait, you guys gotta peep my the best nickname I ever came up with for my Dex Draft League. Check this shit out. My favorite nickname of all time.
Silvally flying, Silvally steel? Of course.
Oh my god.
the opposite of the classic.
Yeah, it is. But this guy had like ice or snow team, so I was like, I'm gonna bait Blizzard instead of baiting Earthquake.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I like it. But yeah, anything else you wanted to say? Any shout-outs you wanted to give, Ice? Any socials you wanted to plug?
I don't have any socials to plug. Super good game, though.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah.
Thanks again. And I will see everyone next week, where I am going to be destroying Ved, my mentee.
No.
Until next time, have a good one. Bye.